Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching the truth, teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And I'm trying to do the lesson in Jeremiah 51, and it's not letting me show you the words. That's funny. That's Satan. Slakia. Anyway, yeah, let me try it again. Jeremiah 51, verse 1. All right, so through the Spirit, let me see. Jeremiah 51 and 1. All right, it worked. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. All right, and a wind is a metaphor for an army. All right, you know how a strong wind can destroy things in its path, just like an army, right? A strong army would destroy things in its path. So that's what it is. Yahweh is saying, I'm going to bring up a strong wind against Babylon, and the wind is literally the the nations that are going to rise up against Babylon and shoot it with nuclear fire, right? Let me get this precept real quick. It's in Revelation. Let me see, Revelation 7 and 1. It says that, and after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree. You know, and if you keep reading, it's talking about those four winds. The angels are holding back the winds. Basically, the angels are holding back the armies, the spirit of, war. But when Yahweh gives them that green light, that's when the destruction is going to come. See, verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So until the elect is sealed, the winds, the four winds are not going to be unleashed, which is going to go into those the destruction. All right, go back to Jeremiah 51 and 2. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And the day of trouble against Babylon is going to be all those missiles being shot at Babylon, America, from the other nations. Starting out with the Russians, who in the scriptures it's referred to as the Medes, because if you get an ancient map and you look up Medo-Persia, and then you Google a current map, Russia and Medio, or the Medes, it's the same region. Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. So brigandine deals with a coat of armor. All right, so it's like armor. Verse 4, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, the Most High, of Yahweh of hosts. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. And so Yahweh is having mercy, even though the Israelites we forsake Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but yet He's still going to destroy our enemies, basically is what it's saying. Verse 6, flee out the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Right? Vengeance is of Yahweh, right? It's Yahweh's, it belongs to Yahweh. So we don't have to start a military, the Israelites I'm talking about, we don't have to start a military or a militia or anything like that, because vengeance is Yahweh's. Verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right? So, the earth is drunken because of Babylon, because Babylon influences all the planet Earth, all the nations. We just had the Super Bowl this past weekend, and what were they doing in the commercials? They were giving all kinds of propaganda, because they know, everybody watches the Super Bowl. It's the most viewed spectacle on the TV each and every year. So what do? That's why they spend so much money with their commercials. Because if you watched the commercials from this year's Super Bowl, they had a lot of commercials depicting the chariots, and they're giving the earth that Babylonian juice. Because in the few commercials, they were depicting the UFOs, but they were showing them with like alien men. Like the word alien, I use it loosely because alien means foreigner, which the angels are actually foreigners. They're foreign to Babylon, foreign to this planet. But nonetheless, they depict them as those gray and green aliens. So they were putting that vibration out on the Super Bowl Sunday, and that's one example how they made the earth drunk. Because they're pushing that propaganda, and they're not showing you the truth. They're not showing you that because they know the truth. They know that the angels are in those chariots and those UFOs. People call them UFOs. But anyway, it says the nations have drunken over wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, the nations have lost their mind, as in mad, as in crazy, right? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. And in verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone unto his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto the heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right, her judgment is going to be coming straight from the heavens. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not only are those missiles going to hit Babylon, America, but also those chariots, they're going to shoot concentrated fire at Babylon and at the inhabitants. The 2/3 in the heathen, they're going to be getting blasted by the chariots along with the nuclear missiles. Those are going to be judgments. That's from heaven. Because those missiles, they got to be shot into the heavens. They go up into the atmosphere and then they come back down. That's how that works. It says she is not healed. Like people it's foolish for you to sit there and join in a prayer and pray for Babylon, America. You pray that America is going to be healed because America is Babylon. It says she is not healed. Forsake her, meaning forget her. If you're an Israelite, forget about Babylon. We need to focus on our kingdom, right? Forget about Babylon. What you trying to hold on to Babylon for? This place is temporary. And the nuclear missiles, the World War III is it's very close. You just got to watch the news and you can see that the tension is rising. Okay? Verse 10. Yahweh hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh and the vengeance of his temple. And again, I was telling you, the kings of the Medes, that's dealing with Russia. If you look at an ancient map, the Medes are in the same region where the modern day Russians are. Okay, so this is this it's all prophecy, right? Russia wasn't a country yet. It wouldn't say in Jeremiah, that Yahweh had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Russia. No, it was Medes, because that's that same region where Russia is today. So, and if you look at it, hey, Vladimir Putin, he ain't playing. You just had him being interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and Yahweh's raising up the spirit of the Medes or the Russians by how? By you have what do you call America is poking the bear, so to speak, right? Because Russian is likened unto the bear. So America's poking the bear and the panda. The panda would be China. So both of those two are allies. They're both going to shoot missiles at Babylon America, along with many other nations who have nuclear power. All right. Verse 12, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for Yahweh has both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Right. So Yahweh's already set up the standard, and he has set up the watchmen. Those are the prophets. The prophets are the watchmen, right? Let me get this real quick. Isaiah 62. This is the precept for the setting up the watchmen. Hey, that's the prophets. That's us. We're the ones telling the inhabitants of Babylon that there's going to be World War III coming soon. And people are going to get fucked up in World War III by nuclear war. Nuclear fire, okay? Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence, and give him no rest, till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So that's what we're doing, man. We're not holding our peace day nor night. You have the prophets on one side of the world, prophesying, ushering in the destruction, by our mouth, telling you this place is going to be destroyed. Then when we go to sleep on this side of the world, the prophets on the other side of the world are going to be awake doing the same thing. That's why it says day nor night. We're not holding our peace, and we're going to keep mentioning it to Yahweh until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. You see, Jeremiah 51 and where we at? Verse 12. Oh, I read that. Verse 13. But that's the making the watch strong, like it said in verse 12. Set up watchmen, it says, prepare for the ambushes, for Yahweh hath both devised, 12, but both devised and done which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and measure of thy covetousness. Right. So which nation dwells on many waters? You can look up America. Let me look it up right now. How many embassies does the U.S. have? Watch. Let's see. So it says the United States counts near 173 embassies and 88 consulates across the world. So that's how they dwell on many waters. They have they're in 173 different countries, 88 consulates. All right. That's why it says, thou that dwellest on many waters, abundant in treasures. What's the richest country in the planet? Babylon, America. It says, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Yeah, and the covetousness, that's what America is, based on covetousness, right? Always trying to take someone else's resources. Always trying to take someone else's land. This is the MO of Babylon America since the inception, when they landed on the New World, Verse 14. The Yahweh of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. Right. And a caterpillar, it destroys a tree, right? Whether it's be the inside of the tree or the outside of the tree, The caterpillars will destroy a tree. That's what the prophets are likened unto, because we're exposing this place with the scriptures, right? So these are the men that we're likened unto caterpillars, right? And like I said, a caterpillar will destroy a tree. If you have enough caterpillars, and over enough seasons, enough times, hey, those caterpillars will eat the nutrients off that tree till that tree withers away. This is how the prophets are likened unto. Verse 15, He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and he hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. So he can make the weather, horrible, on top of the nuclear war, on top of the chariot fire. You see? So Babylon America has literally no chance when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai visits the earth. All right? Every man, verse 17, every man is brutish. Brutish means cruel. By his knowledge, every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. Right, so those idols that the false religions have created, they're useless, vanity, right? Verse 18, they are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. Yeah, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua visits the earth, you ain't going to hear about no idolatry anymore. All that's going to be done away with. It's going to be destroyed. Not only is Babylon going to be destroyed, but all of the idolatry, all the false religions, it's going to be come to a halt. Right? Verse 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and Yahweh of hosts is his name. Right, so the portion, which it's really 1/3 is the portion, that's gonna abide in that day, because everything else and everyone else is going to be destroyed. And again, Jacob is the former of all things, meaning everything goes back to us. That's why you look into all these inventions, and it's always Jake who invented whatever you could think of. Even the internet. Jake invented the internet, right? Verse 20, Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Right, because you got also in Jeremiah, let's go to Jeremiah 16:16, is when we get those spiritual powers, we're going to be the Lord's battle axe. Right, Jeremiah 16:16, it says, Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. So right now we're fishers. We're like fishermen. Remember, Yahweh Shai, he was recruiting men, right? He recruited his disciples. He was fishing them. Fishing. Remember, he says, I will make you fishers of men. Same thing that we're doing, right? We're fishing the elect out. So right now we're fishers, and he says, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hole and out of the holes of the rocks. So we're going to be, first we're fishermen of men, and then we're going to be hunters of men. We're going to be hunting down the men. And it says every hill and the holes of the rocks, because we're going to hunt the wicked elite and the rich and all the wicked that are that are running to the underground bunkers for refuge. We're going to have spiritual power, and we're going to be that battle axe for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? We're not in that time right now, but that time is coming. You better believe it. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Well, let's get it real quick. What is it? Shit. Oh, shit. I'm trying to remember. Isaiah 59:19. It says, So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Because Yahweh, when the enemy comes in like a flood, which the flood is the military, the UN troops, when the enemy comes in like a flood on the men, Yahweh is going to give us spiritual powers, and that's why it says it's going to lift up a standard against the enemy. So he's going to give us spiritual powers. And like I said, if right now we're fishermen of men, but there's going to be a day, there's going to be a time when we're going to be hunting men with spiritual powers. Spiritual powers comes on the Lord's prophets. You know, all the superhero movies, the Marvel comics, all that stuff. You know, the Greek gods, all those, you know, all that stuff goes back to Jake. Like we read, Jake is the former of all things. All of the, you know, like any type of superhero or Marvel comics, any type of man with superpowers, superhuman powers, they get those ideas from the Bible because they know that the Lord's prophets, the 144,000, are going to be endowed with spiritual power. All right. Jeremiah 51 and I'm at verse 21 says, oh, look at this thing. It's just acting up. All right, let's see. Yeah, this app is acting up a little. Let's see. Verse 21, it says, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Right, remember there's that red horse that takes away the peace from the earth, which is Esau Edom in the Revelation. This is what it's talking about. We're going to destroy that horse and his rider. Right, verse 22. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon, unto all the inhabitants of Chaldea, all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. And remember, the mountain is symbolic for government. Babylon, America, Esau, Edom's government is going to be a burnt mountain, a burnt government. It's going to be desolation. I'm running out of time here, so I'm gonna jump down to, well, shit. I'll go to 28. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. Remember, the kings of the Medes, those Russians. Verse 29. And land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. Right. That's because why? Nuclear missiles are going to hit this place. And it's going to be started out by the Medes, who are the Russians. Verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. The mighty men of Babylon are their troops. You know, their Navy SEALs, their Space Force. It says, their might hath failed. They become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. So the military is going to become like women, is what it tells you here. You know? So if you're Jake and you're in the military, Esau's military, man, you either repent and get the hell out of that military, or you're going to have to face World War III, and you're going to be fighting against the greatest host of all time, which is the army of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which includes the chariots and the angels and the 144,000, the prophets who are going to be given and granted and endowed with spiritual power. All right. So I'm gonna close out on that because I gotta get to the plantation. But you know, you get the point. Babylon America is in for some shit. World War III. Babylon America has no chance, man. You're gonna think about it. You're gonna have the Medes, who are the Russians. You're gonna have all the other. You know, China's gonna be shooting missiles here. You're gonna have, NATO's gonna turn against Babylon. You're gonna have all these nations shooting their nuclear missiles at Babylon. Because everybody's sick of Babylon, tired of Babylon, America. You know, all these governments, all these these leaders, these presidents of these other nations are tired of Babylon. Sick of their sanctions they put on countries, sick of the bullshit, sick of America being the bully. The bully's going to get bullied, man. And it's also not only going to be those nations, it's also going to be the Lord's host, which are those chariots, those angels, you know, shooting nuclear fire. And not to mention the battle axe, which is going to be the Lord's prophets, which he's going to give us spiritual power. And we're going to go from fishermen to huntermen, fishers to hunters. All right. So Babylon America is through, just like this video.